Okay, I think we are up. Looks like we're up. Yeah, we're up. All right, guys. Welcome to the channel. For those of you guys new here, I'm Mike, uh, otherwise known Who's Your Marine Mac, and the purpose of today's video is to um, more or less respond to some of the comments that I got from my previous video in regards to Asmongold. Um, I wanted to say first and foremost, thank you for all of you that came into the channel and shared positive feedback and were reasonably level-headed, and you know, shared your perspective with me and gave me better insight on the situation or your ways of thinking. I do appreciate that very much, and I can't thank you guys enough for taking the time out of your day to watch the video. I know it was hard to get through. It's hard to watch. I'm very bad with words. You gotta forgive me a little bit here because I have a little bit of a medically induced speech impediment. I had like some physical injuries that happened, so I stammer a little bit and I stutter, and it's hard for me to articulate myself in a smart way or a sophisticated way. Uh, I don't know if I stuttered a lot, but if I do, I'm not making excuses. I'm just letting you guys know up front that's what's going on. So hopefully you guys can bear with me. Even in this video, I try to do everything in one take. I'm the one take wonder. I don't like doing editing stuff, and I don't want to um, you know, spend a lot of time on this because the last video was like 23 minutes or something like that, and it as you guys said before, it could have been cut down to a lot shorter of a time window, but a lot of that comes with my inability to speak well. I substituted a lot of my vocabulary out when I joined the military. We traded in all the smart words for acronyms and four-letter words, so forgive me there as well. But um, brevity is not my best thing. I got to work on that. So I did take that critique seriously. I know like it wasn't something I thought of immediately, but even in my video I had mentioned like I try to keep the video short, and it was like 20 minutes. Um, that is my fault. I do need to work on that a little bit. I also mentioned, or somebody else mentioned that I needed to do like scripts or like work from a prompt or something like that. I'd like to not do that just because I try to speak as genuinely as I can. Like if I don't speak like from a script in person, I don't think it would make sense to do it in a virtual call or a virtual conversation with you guys. So I try to shoot from the hip. I try to speak quite frank, and if I come off sounding like a dumbass, that it is what it is. I'm a dumbass. So if it was hard for you guys to follow along and listen to me when I was doing a lot of ums and uhs, I get it. It is hard to listen to. So once again, I very much appreciate those of you guys that did watch the entire video. It was a lot to get through, um, but ultimately it's stuff that I'm gonna have to work through. These are things that I need to get more reps in, and it's it's a learning experience. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't do this for money. Like it's something I just kind of felt compelled to make. Even right now I'm compelled to make the video for you guys now because I just want to share my appreciation to you guys that took the time out of your day to share your perspectives and your opinions and just tell me how much of an ass I am even. But on that note, with consideration to keeping it proportional. Some of you guys blew things out of the water and came off as fucking assholes, and you guys know who you are. I try to respond to a few of you guys, but I'm also not one to back down from a fight. So, if you guys want to come in hot and ready like a Little Caesar pizza, you guys can get cooked too. It's fine. Like I'm here for it, man. So you guys that came in being rude and like really obtuse, fuck you, for lack of a better word. But to the rest of you guys, I do appreciate you guys coming in level-headed and reasonable, because at the end of the day, I feel like my video wasn't supposed to be a hit piece, and I tried my best not to come off as rude or inconsiderate to the community or Asmongold or Zach. I tried to convey my feelings, my sentiment in a respectful way, and the way that I was received in some cases, it didn't make sense to me, and I'm going to stick up for myself. So once again, for those of you guys that were rude and inconsiderate, go get fucked. That's all I got to say on that. But everybody else, thank you for taking the time. And I did read through most, if not all, the comments so far, and a lot of it was very helpful for me in regards to giving me better insight on how my video may have been better, may have been uh, a little off base. Maybe I was irrational in my thought process. I don't necessarily think that it's going to change my opinion on the matter. I think that all it did is let me get a little bit more perspective on how I should convey my messaging, and maybe crunching that time of the video a little bit down. In fact, right now we're on almost 6 minutes. I'm going to try to get you guys a sub 10-minute video here today. But um, I just feel like in consideration to my previous talking point, I didn't want to do a whole lot of video references to the talking point at hand because more or less everything that he was saying was very near to the same as what he said in the previous videos. So if I was just going to show clip after clip, it just comes off as like I'm obsessed or I'm like, trying to make a hit piece on him, and that wasn't the message that I wanted to convey. That's not what my video's intentions were. I don't want to come off as some guy that's just trying to share hate and spread hate, because ultimately I am a fan of Asmon. I think he's doing great work, and I want to keep seeing his content coming out, and I don't want him to feel that he has to be. So I don't feel like he has to be tone police. I know that a lot of people may have said that, like, I'm trying to tone police him in my video. I'm just trying to share my insight. All right, like it's like when you say certain things that maybe you're not really um, fully aware of the implications. Like you're saying things and you don't necessarily know what you're saying. You're just spreading that message out to the public. I felt that the way he was portraying the situation was wrong, or maybe his perception that he was sharing was wrong, or maybe just uninformed. And um, ultimately that was all I was trying to do. That's all I was trying to convey in my video. And to those of you guys that got anything else out of that, maybe it's because I'm a really poor speaker. Maybe I wasn't doing a good job of sharing my um, my feelings or my sentiment. And on that, it's my fault. I do apologize for that. But in regards to the overall purpose of my video, I'm still gonna stick with it. Like I think that he should at least consider changing the way he portrays the military in that way, because perception is reality, and his perception is the reality that you guys are all seeing, or maybe that for the uninformed are seeing. And I think it's based on a false premise, and I think that some of it may be true, but that's not the entirety of it, and it's being conveyed as like the entirety of it. And the way that it's being messaged out to you guys, it's the same way that I see people talk about college educated people versus people that go into trades. Like maybe people at one point thought that college educated people or going to college was the thing to do. While if you go into a trade, you're a lower IQ person, or you're just like a janitor or something. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the same perception I was getting, or maybe the same message I was getting out of that whole like Pete Hegseth thing, like the meatheads kind of thing. Like we're not dumb jocks, we're not some idiots. Like we're as far and wide the military is the most highly driven people in this country. They're going to be the highest motivated people, the most interactive in their communities. Maybe not the most intellectual, but by God, they're going to be the best people you're going to meet. And to break that down into just one category of people, I take offense to that, and I feel like I was within every right to feel offended by that. But maybe I'm blowing things out of proportion. Maybe I still am. But you guys just need to know where I'm at, so I'm not coming off as some kind of asthma hater or anything like that. And I hope that he's watching this and not thinking that I'm, just trying to do this for clicks or anything. Because like I'm not doing this for anything. I'm just sharing my point because I feel like no one else really has, and it's something that I felt was important enough to speak out about. So, at the very end of the day, like hopefully you guys get that from this message now, and you guys can see that I'm just trying to share a message out there. That's all this was supposed to be. And I did just want to respond to you guys and share my gratitude, and um, hope that you guys are all doing well. And to those of you guys that came in with all that hate and rude comment shit, I hope you go to hell. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I try to keep this short for you guys. I said 10 minutes. We're at almost 10 and a half, so I do apologize. But if there's more that needs to be said, I'll make another video. But I don't really think it's necessary. I think that I'm trying to just keep this as concise as I can. But once again, thank you guys for coming in, sharing your guys' positive feedback, and taking the time out of your day to watch my video. And you know, if anything, I hope that it has helped you guys see at least a different perspective, or maybe see where I'm coming from, and hopefully it brings on a little bit of change. But anyway, this is Who's Your Marine Mac. Find me on Twitch at some point. Hopefully you guys are all doing great, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Stay safe and stay strapped.